So the Wake people might be joining us, they might not, I'm not sure, but they're invited. Whether they do or not, we're streaming live to our website. So there could be people at home who couldn't come today who are watching, just so you know. They can't join, the people from home can't join, they can just watch. Hey, it's EdCamp, just be yourself. So there's a sign outside each door. Okay. Thank you. So this room is streaming to the folks at Wake and also just whoever's at home watching. Maybe actually across you.
So I created a collaborative Google Doc we could all take notes on and put our contact information. Do you want me to write it up there, the bit.ly, and you guys can join? Would that be okay? Oh, there was one.
Yeah. Like the session where it says 1A craft.
Okay.
Great, gotcha. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
I just have to charge. Didn't come prepared. All right, so who's going to get started about makerspaces?
I know what it is first.
Yeah, that's my question.
Good to go?
Yep. So does anybody have a makerspace at their school or their facility or have been to one? Want to talk about it?
It's actually something new this year that we have like a special. So it's like music, art, and there's makerspace. And I think the teacher is kind of struggling a little bit just because it's kind of given to her and not with a lot of guidance. And so we want to be here to kind of help support her.
So I'm an IT at the Johnson High School in Nashville, and we have makerspaces, but they're housed in our media centers. Our teachers are struggling with how to use them. How to, should it be connected to the classroom, or is it just a place for the kids to tinker and explore? Our media center coordinators are struggling because they're not really sure how to equip it either. So some of them have Legos in them, some of them have craft supplies, some of them have various recycled things like paper, toilet paper rolls, and things like that. So that's kind of my question is how are you utilizing them in your district? Are they in the classroom? Are they in the media center? Are you utilizing them well or not so well or not at all? Or those are my questions.
Is a makerspace all hands-on materials, or is there a digital makerspace, like where they create videos or podcasts
So I don't know, yeah.
So you know what, so you, in your district, you have people that have makerspaces, and you have one in your school, but that's it.
Ours are out in the media center. They're not inside the classroom.
And I have one that I'm building in my school, but it's pretty much housed in the media center as well. I'm in a photography.
What grade levels?
For me, it's K-8, although right now as I'm building the program, I'm the IPF. It's mainly the middle school students.
And ours is K-12. We see them used more in elementary right now. Middle and high, or some of the teachers are looking down at it going, what? You know, this is not useful, this is not academic, it's not part of the curriculum. You know, I'm just saying.
Such a weakness that's argument for that actually I just don't think it all needs to be connected. I mean, when you look at all the objectives, they can be connected somewhere, but I don't think this is just, I think the thing about makerspace is that it can kind of be really connected. So this is just my opinion. But I mean, I don't take a lot. You really look at these objectives and kind of make mistakes. You know, I think it's just more about the making the supreme, but we have all of that in ours. We have the craft stuff, the iPad stuff, there's all kinds of different materials. But our person was new. She wasn't the one that picked up the stuff, and right now she's still kind of in the exploring process with them. You know, it's going to evolve, and I think that's kind of what's on.
So let me ask you a follow-up question. So if it's not connected, then how do we convince the teachers, which most teachers are so used to, has to be personalized, you know, how do we convince them that this is not just, if you've got 5 minutes, let your kids do it, like, you know, an extra 5 minutes. How do we convince them to give kids the time to explore and tinker, and that it is of value?
So at our school, we have 2 of them. We have one in the media center. I'm so glad you asked that question because I was at that same challenge about a year and a half ago because we wanted to have a space where kids could, like you said, purposefully connect their content to this like play and like discovery environment, and how do you get it to be purposeful. So we did a couple of things to get it started and to begin, and like you said, no 2 makerspaces are alike. They're all different, and some of them are digital components, and some of them are recyclables, and some of them are tools. At our school, we tried to take the concept that we're not going to use this space unless it is purposeful and it is tagged to our standards. So we had a teacher sort of like maker fair. So we set up our media center to have all these different things, and we said we would love for your kids to come down, and we did it through English, I think, or like everybody was able, I think English was what we started.
Or was it social studies?
Yeah, it was either English or social studies to come down, and so they brought them down, and there was a table with like sewing machine, no directions, sewing machine stuff. They just got to do what they wanted to do. Some of them were like, create a Rube Goldberg machine, and so they had to add parts to this like evolving Rube Goldberg machine to make it work. So they got to see what the excitement from the students, so the opportunity to experience it themselves was powerful. Then our media coordinator came on board, and her and I talked together, and we were like, we really need stuff. So we explored unused 5th grade science kits at our county, and that was a bunch of stuff. So we went to our county and said, what is in your warehouse that you're trying to throw out? We'll take it. We also asked our parents for trash that they were throwing out, like recyclables, and so we have this ever-growing space of stuff. And we said, okay, we're going to take it to the next dimension. If we really want to be a school who looks at developing 21st century skills in the career field, we want the tools that are in the industries and things that they would be able to have. And so we hosted a business partner maker challenge. So we designed a challenge that said, find the right shade. And so kids had this prompt where they had to, you know, figure out a lighting fixture in a place that they wanted to create a shade for. And then they did this challenge through their science classes, and our business partners were invited in for a day for coffee, and so they got to see our poor, pathetic makerspace, and we said, we really need stuff. And so we started getting a lot of stuff, and continuing to get more stuff. So that was kind of how we started it. We have 2 of them. Our media coordinator
She uses her space for individual use. So she has a space that's very organized, has labels on it, big items, things that kids would need like permission to use. She has a list of them that says, come and see me for checkout. So they check in and out those things. She is amazing. If you want to contact with her, fantastic resource. Her name's Amanda McCrary, and she's at Newton Conover Middle School. And she is a valuable resource for, she's just awesome and good at what she does. My job, on the other hand, was to do like a classroom one. And so we have this big classroom, and I took it like you said. So we looked at challenges. We tried, good idea, bad flop. We tried to do monthly maker challenges with our families. So we sent out like themes for the month. So the first one last year for October was how to get a small pumpkin to fly on a kite. And so they were going to try to design that with their families. And we just didn't get a lot of success in terms of parents buying into that because students didn't know what it was. So we said, all right, we're going to take it differently. So this year, our science teams, at the end of their lesson, so when they're done with testing, or they've had a day of testing and they need a break, or they have a behavior kid and they need them to give them 10, 15 minutes, they're able to work on this monthly challenge. And the monthly challenges, look, it's purposeful. So we went to our business partners and we said, what are the jobs in our area that are in high demand, and what skills are missing? Like by your entering employees, what is the skill that is missing, and what is the skill that is most needed to be successful in that job? And so we designed challenges around those two things. So our kids are getting like practical skills and purposeful skills. I put a link in there for like the first 3 that we have in the notes or whatever, so you could see them, you could share them, you could do them. It's designed for middle school, but you can make it harder for high school, and you could tear it down for elementary.
And really, and you also know, we have, so we've got this space in the media center that's separate and awesome, and then we've got another one that's just really just becoming into its own. Upstairs, we have a commons area on our top floor. It's kind of like a lobby area, and we turn that into, or Jess is an awesome job, turn that into our STEM, our makerspace, with tables and shelves all around. It's just kind of out in the open, which is so nice, because it's just also kind of free, I think, for kids. And then also, our media coordinator has like mini makerspace challenges. And so when you go into the library, or kids are checking out, or they've got some, 10, 15 minutes, we've got a Lego wall board, but we also have, she's just got a bookshelf with little things, like little recycling little things. And she'll have just a mini challenge. So at Christmas time last year, she had create Christmas ornaments, and she had a tree up. And so as they created things, they hung it on the tree. And they created some crazy things. It was just a way for them to be creative, and they had to figure out a way with the stuff that they had, and figure out a way to hang it on the tree. You had to, put it all together. And so those little 10, 15-minute, little 5-minute, little opportunities for kids to get involved. It is awesome.
Like our social studies made compasses, so they were talking about exploration. So she said, you have 10 minutes to design a compass. Our social studies classes have used it a lot.
And in the 6th grade, when they do early band, we took them and they had to make a tool that would be useful for homophilus that kids were going to use. And so
I know a way that people tie it into literacy is like the 3 little pigs and doing different type of houses and different blow dryer. I mean, so there are so many ways.
So I was going to say, the one that I have access to, and I'm actually a grad student, so I'm not teaching in a school district right here. So for the past 2.5 years, and actually before that, when I was in another state, my wife's a director of religious education in our church. So my teaching experience, for the most part, was there. We've had a makerspace for a little over 2 years now. We keep tying it to social justice projects. So what we're doing right now is, and it's K through 6 for the most part, though. Since I'm teaching youth right now, I'm really using youth to try to give them some tie into our program, but also to try to give them a space. In a leading role, and we're doing little free libraries for Ashley. So it's giving them the space to look at all the different sides of that, like these computers that we have in there, to look at mapping back to where are public libraries, where's public transportation, where are the areas of our town where people monetarily probably don't have the ability to go to the library or have access to those. And where there are already free libraries, so we don't try to put one where there are two. So we had to critically look at location, and then we're having to do the actual physicality of building up. So they're using hands-on tools. A lot of these kids are I wish it wasn't this way, particularly it's a long tender one. A lot of little girls have never really had to build anything, or use a hammer, or make it out so that you can make it fit, or problem solve. The first thing that we did was a Mountain Express newspaper, and we're going to turn that. How do we take this and turn this into this end product that we want? How do we refit this? Oh wait, there's a problem with this because it's got two springs in the bottom, but if each child lets go of the sports and take off their finger. So we had another person from the congregation come in, an engineer, to talk to them about tour and how we could either retrofit that spring or retrofit the door so that it's going to close easier. We talked about how to put stop in so that it's a slow close instead of. And we refit that one, and now we're getting them out of wood. So we're talking about how to redesign with a couple of different designs, pick one. Which one's going to work best for us, things like that. So we're using it in kind of hands-on, and also trying to tie in as much like critical skills for how do you take this large project that you have and really actually make it work. And then also tying in the multi-generational for the mixed age group allows the older kids to have. I just did the first one this last Sunday with the older kids. So awesome to see the older kids just, okay guys, this is what we're doing, and this is what we're going to do, and actually kind of what we're trying to do to do. And they just took it and ran with it and did great. So that's how I see it. I couldn't see the issues with getting it to fit in. If your only focus was trying to get it to fit into specific curriculum. They don't see it more looking at critical skills. I really like the time. That's huge. And also, when we use it in I see all the applications for STEM type stuff, for science, for technology, math. Makes perfect sense for math. But what about something like math-based stuff that we have? I like the story I think we talked about, like making physical representation of the story.
That's really my challenge. Is because I am an ELA teacher who's on drunk, and so trying to fit, because we're at a school, trying to fit STEM into my curriculum and stay on the curriculum. I mean, I'm standard base, I've got stay there, but I would like to incorporate more in the makerspace. I'd like to utilize more of these things, and that's where I'm struggling.
We don't have one, but I can totally see doing that with, we've started doing the National History Day competition, and they do like create your website, create your documentary. And so we do the research process, and then they create a documentary. But some of our issues have been having the technical tools to be able to do the things they want to do in the documentary. So I can see that becoming a technology makerspace.
Right, and Money Real Object Model have, like 3D printers. That would be an excellent use of makerspace for having the ability to bring in something like that. It's
my first question was, what is it? And I guess what I'm understanding is the place to create. I was gonna say, I'm just sitting here going, that was my first question, and I still have, this is what we're talking about. But what I understand is it's an area that they can go in and do challenges and stuff like that. So more or less it connects, you could do also like EELs in that area? Okay. They're like problem-based or project-based learning. And so you give them like a challenge and they have to figure it out from that.
I feel like though with literature, couldn't you like let the students be creative? Like you have this space, like have some way to, so you just read something, poetry, for instance.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel? So go into your maker space and use what you can find to show us how you feel. And like every kid's gonna do it different, but doesn't a maker space naturally move it to letting them?
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to have in mind like this is what they're gonna do with it, by giving them freedom to kind of create.
And even with settings for like poor readers where they can visualize the story of what's happening, you can say, I want you to go and create like the parts of the characterization of this character, like what really embodies this character, what does the setting look like? You know, because that's a hands-on, quick process that they're allowed to then, like you said, think outside the box.
So example, would you think, like I teach third grade, we teach about Rome and stuff. And so like I was thinking about, you were talking about building like little girls, stuff like that, but you could either have, could you put like Barbie dolls in it and then have them create clothing for it? I mean, something like that, that would work, okay. I was just trying to think about, they could do Rome clothing and stuff, I mean.
And we even did food. So like I love science and that's like my background. We had people, like one of our teacher expos was design your own omelet. And so they literally cracked an egg, put it in a bag, put all their stuff in it, dropped it in some hot water. And they were like, is this gonna work or melt the bag? And so they were processing all of these things, but it's such a rich conversation if you dig deeper into it of why that's happening. You know, what are the properties of the water that cause this to work and all that good stuff. So there's a lot, you know, from simple things that you can dig deeper into.
Sense of vision almost is space. I mean, it's a great extension of what you're trying to get them to access in a maker space. So thinking skills, so looking at how to work out a problem, finding solutions in real time ethics, learning style.
I think that's kind of where, now that I listen to all of you talking, that's kind of where we're lacking. The way that my district has interpreted makerspace is that it's a place that kids can go and explore and not have someone tell them what to do. And so we've not done challenges. I mean, we do that when we talk about STEM and science and mathematics, but makerspace is just a place where they can go and explore. So there is no agenda. And I think that's why our teachers are struggling.
Yeah.
But if there's challenges in there, then that will help.
I think as a teacher, I would like to make a challenge. And like you were talking about the Christmas ornament or something. I know that was just for fun, but yeah. I mean,
But that is
like we're
culturally
getting-
relevant, everything.
But we're getting ready to teach human body, and so that would be cool for them to have to come in and learn about skeleton, but then they have to create a skeleton out of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think at
Interesting.
first, it's good for them,
To play.
if you do have a place where you have a lot of stuff, it's very stimulating. So I think, you know, first they do need to just be able to touch the things.
Yep.
It's like even when I use butter blocks in my room, I'll go, okay, you've got 2 minutes just to do whatever, because
Yep.
if you don't,
Yep.
I'm not
So
sure
we'll play while you teach, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I think that's important at first, but then if you do the challenges, I think it's still, I mean, that's still them creating, but they love it.
They do.
And it's good, you know, for team building and problem solving, and that's why I say that you can bring that curriculum rather than saying, okay, this strand, you can make it, you know, it's problem solving, there's so many ways that you can.
And that's why I love the individual space in our media center, because kids can use it before and after school to just play, to just say, I really want to design this. They're like, they're designing, we have an upcycle club that meets like in our schedule every week. We have our win time or advisee time. And so one day is clubs during our schedule and they build some crazy stuff. So they built my table decorations for like a business event. They're building like organizers in their lockers and stuff like that. Just like all sorts of stuff around our school that we need. They're like designing it and doing it. It's awesome.
end goal is to have, utilize the space in more free settings. Why can't it be a little bit of time where they're used to just the actual functionality of the tools, a little bit of time where there is a little bit more structure and then hope to get in and almost evolve back into, or actually evolve into it being more led themselves or projects, coming up with their own projects.
Well, I'm working in a K-8 school, so I feel like I'm pretty lucky to have the older kids to work with. I teach 2 exploratories a week, and one of the exploratories is going to be a year-long course. And this first semester, we've been working. I give them challenges with the different materials, and they have to figure out things. But my plan is, with that particular group of students, once this first semester is over, is during their time with me, take them out. This is like a small group, it's only 9 kids. Kind of farm them out to the elementary teachers and let them use them as helpers with the younger kids to do their own makerspace projects too. That way, teachers are not feeling so overwhelmed trying to do it on their own, and they can get more help than just from me.
What rules do you put in place first? I mean, I know that you don't want to squash their creativity, but you have to have some settings. They're like rules and like cleaning up and.
Yeah, that was the issue.
Yeah, so yeah, the cleaning up part was really bad because of time. They got so excited and everyone they were like, oh crap, we have like no time and we're late to class. Yeah, and so we had some students have to come back, but we said what we did was we take pictures because you said it's really stimulating, and so we let them just go and look, and they're like hands off, and then we give them some time to touch and do their things. But we do a lot of pre-planning before they get there, so that way when they're there, it's go time. And we've set it up so that it's almost like bookshelves are like our dividers between these tables, and she said it's very open, like it's like this room, it's very open. But each space is like working through the design theory practice. So the first part is just the thinking, and so supplies are there for just the ideas, and then they can build them, and then they test them, and then keep going through that retest. So it kind of works through that. And we have signs that say, like, if there's electronics, don't touch the capacitors. Here's some pictures. You know, we want you to still be here. Just silly stuff like that. We do have, we are a PBIS school, so we tend to go over those expectations frequently if they're going to use it. We have rules that are posted saying, you know, you can't take this stuff with you. You're good at demerit if you're seen in this space with, you know, without a teacher there, because it is right. I mean, we have a lot of traffic through there, and they're pretty good about not touching stuff and messing with it. But our big tools are in another room. Like we have a laser engraver and 2 3D printers and stuff like that. They'll have to go to that space so that there's a supervised teacher there to use it.
You just said something about not taking things with them, like things they build stay there. I mean, these.
It just depends on.
Yeah, it depends.
Okay.
And we say that like there are some things, so we also try to make sure that they're mindful of what they use, so being a good steward of what I have. And so we have things, but we say if it's a recyclable, that's fine, it can go in the trash, but things that you're going to use in your project have to be deconstructed back and put back. So they use it, but they have to eventually, when they're done, you know, with their whole project, some are on display, but at the end of the year, we put them back so that we are ever growing that.
Yeah.
Okay, just little things like that.
Yeah.
Another resource is if you have a Barnes & Noble near you, they have maker fairs. Like ours is having one in November. So if you've never seen a maker space, or you're curious to what you can put in it, that might be a good time to start.
And they come and do free PD too.
Yeah.
Like she's coming to our school to help us with Makeys because I don't know a lot about it. And our teachers don't know a lot about it. We have 6 of them. So they're unutilized stuff.
There's a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah. I love it.
There's a really good site that I added on there. The girl's name is Chrissy Biddisdale. She's in Texas.
Yeah.
When we were ordering the stuff for our makerspace at our school, she's got with me and just gave me a lot of help and feedback. And their makers is beautiful, but theirs is divided into production. Then there's a digital component, and then like a making. And, there's a lot of different resources on that side.
Well, any last things before we head out? I think is at the end of our session 10. So out in the front lobby right there, you'll see like tables and stuff on it. It's just for you to play. So if you don't want to go in a session or you just need a break, all that stuff's out there to touch and play with. Dr. Linton put them out there for you. I think that's it. Thank you. I learned a lot. Gotta figure out which one I'm going to next.
Your school might post some pictures of what it, because I would like to see the tables, the areas that you have set up that relate to the design process and how you have it organized at bookshelf.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, so it is literally like, you know, the plastic tables that like fold in half. So it's literally that. Printing was on there, it's dirty, and we put black tape. And then we got, on Amazon, they have a pack of 5 stools, for like $30, and they hold up to 3 touchdowns, which is awesome, for like $30 for 5 stools. Yeah, it was cheap. Vista print, we got big signs, they're like $20 a piece, so it was 2 feet wide and 4 feet long, and that's how we put together signs for each section. We did big area rugs because our floor is like concrete with stuff in it. But we did big area rugs for that side, and then our bookshelves are about this tall.
Okay.
And they come out to the wall, and you cut this far on each side. There's shelving.
Okay.
And they were just extra rough in our media centers.
Okay. And what grades are they?
6 or 8.
6 or 8. Okay. Did you put your Twitter thing on the?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm gonna follow you. That way I have
Absolutely.
questions.
Yeah, and yeah, I love that part of it because they get to,
Yeah.
I just get to play, and sometimes they'll go and get the supplies and then go back to the classroom. So it's used a lot of ways. So they don't use that space, they don't have to take the supplies, the teachers need to go back.
Will the teachers check out the supplies?
They just sign up, so they would sign up, like they would to use the space in the media center. She has a good schedule, it's good at what she can do. So they sign up for a block of time if they want to use it. And it's their responsibility if things are getting low, then they either let me know or the media center know, or they can even send it out. We say, we're getting kind of low on this, so their class, if they use a lot of like straws, then they say we need more straws. So that's kind of how it's always applied.
Okay. And I also would like to talk to you more about the business partnership side, how that works. Just which of things, you know.
Yeah, so I sat down with our community college. We have a lady who does called Education Matters, and she does STEM tours in our school for all of 8th grade. And so I said, what are the connections? And so we sat down and talked about, all right, here's our theme song. We do something else that ties into this. We do things called STEM Connections, and that's our business partners also help us with. So it's multifaceted. The STEM Connection I did for a year. The event is in our gym. It's in a big square. It starts on one side with middle school content, like what are we doing with this specific theme? High school is, of course, offering CBCC, our community college, our higher ed, and then all the different business partners that are like the direct field to that. And so like the first one we had was healthcare and public services. So we showed our science, like we had pamphlets saying like here's how you can make connections if you're struggling. Here's how you can stay connected. We also had our CTE, our biotech, had set up our high school nursing program, like in the CTE, and then everybody in different things with EMT, fire, medical treatment, like whole big gamuts. And so parents come, we have free dinners, so we're going to be coming for free dinner, because that's why they come. So we had our school, 650 kids. We had, that I counted just from our kids, there were other people that didn't sign, and we had like close to 400 people. So it's a huge event of all these families there. We want to change the mindset, because our county, a lot of our kids aren't successful in college and don't go to a free university. They would be better served doing a technical job. And so we're trying to change that avenue of saying, what are good parts of it, and how can my kid at middle school be excited about this school? So the next one is like fine arts and education. And they change every year based on that. So our makerspace challenges are designed around those themes. So we have one, like one for makerspace theme is healthcare. So they need to be hospitable. They need to be cognizant of, safety. And so there was like 3 things she gave me. So I designed one saying like purposely for the ER. If you walk into the ER, how could you make this acute sort of thing? And so I use words that they have in math, because they need to know what acute is in the math, but also in the sense. So I use a lot of tier 2 words.
So how did you, when you presented this idea to businesses, how did you
that was a very good discussion. You had to
communicate the benefits to them?
So I pitched it saying, you need to be in need of people, and you are in need of parents. And we have the people, and we need the jobs filled. And so if we begin doing more things to advertise you, then, and you begin helping us in a very practical and relevant manner, saying these are authentic skills that we can practice. So like kids, they said kids don't know how to read the rule. And so our math classes have implemented that type of rule in our classroom, and how to read it, and all that stuff. And so it's sitting down and having everybody in the room and say, what are the skills? Yeah, so it's really, there's an initiative out now called K64. K64. But it's what I understand. I need to be more aware of it, but I think it's like kindergarten all the way through 3rd year, and how we can all come together to make this happen. But the state is really looking at that through CTE lenses, and I need to know more about it, because that came up in our last meeting. But I think that's where kind of things are going, is how can we all come together?
That makes sense.
It does. It's just like
we are all.
But it's, we feel very fragmented, and like, what are we lacking, and what are we doing? There's no true vertical.
That PLC should become that PLN, it makes sense, but there's things that happen.
Exactly. So we really try to bring them in. We want them to show, like, so when I get them down for a step 9, I say, look, I'm going to provide you with a text donation letter. I'm going to feed you. It is free. I make it only about an hour and a half, 45 minutes. I try to do it on a Monday, so that way it's not conflicting with sports or things that they might have in the evenings. They've been really receptive. Okay. But the key people that I talked to was one, the both directors at the colleges, the community and that chamber, who's the director of them, the city manager, the mayor, and like our STEM tours, that's how we got a lot of ours, but we just brought them in. And we just said, we really want to do this. When we did that, I brought in like our district representatives so they can help us with pitch and say, we're not just trying to isolate this one school or this one segment. We need to do better at helping support you. And we have the people, we want to train them so that you don't have to read them as hard.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be.
Absolutely.
JL.
Jail shoe. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
You're
They're like, I'm like, they don't connect together, but they do have things that you have to build in
Yes.
They're playing a couple of reviews, coding.
Thank you.
He's on to check out what's in the makerspace. It's almost like I don't want to infiltrate material at the same time right now.
No, I did not.
Well, even just noticing probably some the person to go to like any organization. Connect to the code and share and talk to her. That's just how very good time. Share online. Things are over because well, I think Mona is going to be kind of in charge of that. Holly Anderson? Yes, but she's not like the liaison. She can't be the liaison because she's not there. Right. So those people I should have when I got started stuff like that. Just like pushing a lot. But
Oh, you're good.
you have so much space.
I want to see what other people are doing, trying to personalize. Did you just see the Google cardboard thing? No.
You put the phone in it, pull up the app, or also,
Yeah,
and you're looking at.
how much little thing, it's like a little,
Honey, problem with this, you put it in and it will take.
Viewmaster.
Yes, it's like a Viewmaster, but. And then a push button.
well,
How cool would that be?
I think she could do that. There's legal expedition now, we look for people's causes, and what we're found, the teacher was saying, really proper, and it's the amount. So you may want to consider purchasing or getting a grant for. I think actually Viewmaster makes it's, so I know we've seen it. Yeah, this is it starts. See, like you guys have that before, it's like. I still have to read the phone. I have my. So the difference where that's really kind of fun is that we have our in-house different phone sizes don't always fit the best.
That's what I just asked her, because
So-
my husband has the 6 on a tab.
I know.
So just Google Viewmaster, virtual, we probably be our starter base. And, access to technology. Now, Google Expedition is a great app where you can go to places like that.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling you on this phone, so.
But she was saying how she works for your head.
Yes, yes. I've been playing around with it on my personal phone. Because
I haven't found that it's necessarily doing anything other than just have apps on it.
Well, we have talked about trying to gather all the phones and somehow make sure they can be.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Whereas just here, it makes it one.
Yeah. Well, kind of.
Because I looked at that one and it was like looking at one screen. Yeah, this is something that she. You just see
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
Yes.
Well, there's another one too, that when you, it actually gives a mileage of how fast the roller coaster. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This one's kind of cool. This is our house.
So I just pick this door.
There you go.
I mean, this stuff with the miles. She's trying to make it. I like it so much more. Oh, yeah.
I'm excited about it. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's really next month.
It's actually.
I know that name.